But then if you follow through with their agenda, then somehow, in some level, more conscious or less conscious, you share that agenda. If even if you don't share that agenda and you know what it is and you completely disagree with it, if you deliver their message, if you enact their desire that is agenda based, the shadow aspect of desire that is control based, then you're what's the word? You're part of it. You're an accomplice, right? So once you recognize what is it that you're gaining out of it? Are you gaining power? Are you gaining recognition? Are you gaining acceptance? Is there something that you desire that you're going to get by being submitted to this person, by submitting to this person? Now, as soon as you recognize what that is, then you get to say, yes, this is what I want. This is why I keep listening to them or doing what they want, even though I don't believe in it. And then at least you admit it to yourself and you get to decide whether you want to continue doing so or not. But if you're in denial as to why you do what you do, that's a different story, right? Recognize why you do what you do, or why you agree to what you agree, or why you accept what you accept. And then if you choose to move forward with it, own it and recognize that that's the case. Don't lie to yourself or to another. And understand that, we're free to make our choices. We're not free of the consequences, aka the law of karma. Now, I don't know what this is. This could be something that's really worth it. It's worth it for you to get that consequences or karma for the negative aspects of it for the sake of what it is that you're gaining. Okay, gaining. What is it that you're gaining truly? Is it of heart-based value? What is it? Because if you sell your truth or your heart for the sake of greed, what are you doing, really? Hmm. This is a lot of tea is spilled in this reading, and some of you might feel uncomfortable with it, but some of you might need the kick in the booty that you need. Might get the kick in the booty that you need. Um, Listen, the devil and the Nine of Cups, there is a level of wanting here. Um, some things that we want, as I said in the beginning, are heart based and spirit based, and that's great. Some things are not. It is really important to learn to differentiate between the two, not to conflate it all as one, to know how to discern between this type and that type. I feel like there should be a different word to describe. Like there should be desire, and I feel like desire and greed are not the same words. I feel like desire and greed are just the different aspect of desire. Like desire is a good aspect of it, and greed is like the shadow aspect of desire, like wanting something that belongs to someone else that isn't yours to have, or wanting something that is, for the sake of power and not for the sake of your soul's trajectory. Um, Whereas desire is. So I feel like we need to not treated as completely different things or both bad or both okay. Like desire would be the light manifestation of that essence, and greed would be the shadow manifestation of that essence, if that makes sense. Is there someone on the receiving end of this? Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords, freedom or suppression. And it seems like you're the one delivering the package of either or. Someone on the receiving end of this message, of this command, even of this notice, judgment, of this decision, might endure this based on that. But you have the power to make sure that that doesn't happen to them. Okay, so you're someone wants you to do something to someone. They want that to happen to that someone, but you're the messenger. They're asking you to deliver the message, and you're uncomfortable with it, and it makes you. At first, you're like, "Oh yes, of course, yes, sir," or something like that. But then you stop and you're like, "Wait, what's in this envelope? Why am I doing this? And what will that do? What am I getting out of it?" And your higher self starts meddling, right, in your decision making, and then you get to choose. And the thing is, we might not be shooting the messengers, but karma does. It's not all about intent, it's also about the act and the consequences itself, especially if you know what is in the envelope or what this message is about and what it will do to that person. I feel like I might be catching you right before doing something that could have harmful consequences for another individual, and it's not based in merit of truth, rather of control. From someone in a position of power that gets to say something like that or do something like that, does that make it okay? I don't think so. Um, but I feel like you might choose to tell this to this person, but be like, but I'm not doing this, or I'm not following through with it, or I'm not following that order, kind of thing. Um, so you're kind of telling them that that's what was on the way to them, but that you're not a part of it, or you choose not to be a part of it, that you almost were, that this person expected you to, but you decide not to. Queen of Wands and Five of Pentacles. Yeah, something about this person can't be here anymore, can't come here anymore, can't do this anymore, like denying this person of something. Um, the deck King of Wands, but you're gonna connect with them instead of telling them, hey, you can't be here anymore because of this and that, and you're the one who gets to deliver the message. I think this person wants the two of you to be separated. They want to create a rift between, because if you tell them that they can't go somewhere, can't do something, or something like something that negatively affects them or hurts them in some way, then you're the one who delivered that message, so they will kind of blame you for it. I think that's this person's plan. If Leo will deliver them the message, then they won't want to have anything to do with Leo. They'll get upset with Leo. It's a very divide and conquer type of wow. And that is so fucked up. I'm sorry. Um, it's so warped, right? It's abuse of power. Um, but you're saying no. You're choosing the person or the situation, depending on what's going on with you, right? Or the circumstances that don't require you to do something that you find immoral. Um, it's like choosing the person that doesn't give the ultimatum, that actually cares about you. Here, it brings up the story of Solomon. King Solomon was considered the wisest king in all the kings. He was an Israelite Hebrew king in the ancient kingdom of Israel. And one time, like a lot of cases were brought to him to him to, decide, make judgment. So there were two women that were fighting over a baby. Both of them said that she is the mother of the baby. Um, and so they both came to Solomon Shlomo, so that he'll decide who the baby belongs to. So both presented their case that proves that this is my baby or this is my baby in front of him. And then he was like, you know what? This is what he did. You both are very convincing. I don't know who to believe to, so I feel like it would be fair if I just cut the baby in half and each of you gets a half. One of the mothers was like, okay, I accept. The other mother just landed on her knees and cried and said, no, 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 don't hurt my baby. Give him to her. She preferred to give him up just as long as he doesn't get hurt. It wasn't about the ego of having half of something, just as long as she has something. That showed Solomon who his real mother is. And he gave the baby, he never intended, of course, on cutting the baby in half, but he gave it to her because, okay, you actually love the baby. You would give him up just so that he's safe. Um, that's real love. And so she got the baby. That's the type of wisdom I'm picking up from you here, Leo, where you're recognizing that if someone is asking you to do something that is hurtful both to you and to another person, they don't truly love you, let alone that other person. Um, Especially, it's one thing if it was just and right, but if it's not just and not right, oh, this ties into what I said in the beginning that I was like, where is this coming from? It was like a Freudian, my spirits, my higher self gave me a Freudian slip that represents the reading and what I was about to tap into. So if you're learning injustice, if you're learning to accept injustice, you're learning the wrong thing, kind of thing. Um, it's a very, very powerful reading in a very intense situation. And Leo, of course, these are general readings, so you can be any of the characters in this reading. Um, King of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. You're letting your heart manifest your reality and kind of lead the way. And in ooh, who got the rewrite the stars reading side? Was it Sagittarius? Someone in the general all signs for November. Um, yeah, you're rewriting the stars. You don't want a repetition of painful karma. You want a clearing of it in the enactment of Dharma. And that requires courage. That requires courage. And it landed this way. It's kind of a face off. It's kind of this King of Cups is just standing or sitting between this devil and the Wheel of Fortune. It's like you don't get to sustain the wheel of pain and oppression. I'm going to put my heart in the middle and let that be the guardian of what reality gets manifested from here on. Very powerful, Leo. You're like the protector of Dharma. And in the bottom of the deck, Death card and the World card, this will create a profound breakthrough spiritually, energetically, and in your reality. It will completely break down things that you could have sustained if you had chosen to stay on this wheel, but you chose to break out of the wheel. Daenerys Targaryen, Mother of Dragons from Game of Thrones, said once, "I'm not going to stop the wheel. I'm going to break the wheel." You're breaking the wheel, and allowing a sunrise to come up, and that's very powerful. And you're finishing up a very long cycle and picking up a very long karmic cycle. This could be a life of several lifetimes for some of you, where it's like enough. This is coming to a close. We're no longer playing this repeating painful game. We're making a different choice. Wonderful. I'm going to leave this here. Stay magic, stay true, stay free. I love you.